Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream today. Or tonight, I should say. How are you all doing? I'm live on Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon. We do, in fact, have another, not quite a marathon, but a long one. Tonight, we have a 90-minute episode of Big Brother. Then there is the premiere of the Big Brother version of The Amazing Race. However, I will not be watching that live because I will be heading over to the podcast to do the recap for this episode. That is the plan at the moment. Look here too. So I believe what's happening is I'm going to be hosting the podcast tonight. Rob will be watching The Amazing Race. Rob will then do the Amazing Race recap after the podcast. That is the plan. Been a busy day. Been a busy day for sure. So there actually is some intrigue here for the episode. If you're a YouTube only or Patreon only, you may have missed it. But basically, I went live on Twitch today, intending to go live everywhere because Ava was about to call a house meeting to just rat out everything Vince had told her to Morgan, which is a decent amount of things. And I went live in preparation just in case it started. I wanted to be live during it. And then as soon as I went live, the feeds went down for the day. So I literally, I couldn't even start the YouTube or Patreon stream in time because by the time I turned the Twitch stream on, the feeds had already gone down to pets. So then I stayed on for like 20 minutes to just chat to I felt bad for all of the people that showed up for the Twitch stream. And then instantly it was like, actually, never mind. However, what that means is there may be some of that in the episode tonight. That is possible. That is distinctly possible. I believe we have precedent for it with the Jackson and Tommy stuff. Granted, that was likely a little bit more relevant. McCherry with 5 gifted.
Wow, a 5!
Thank you. Thank you to the other subscribers as well. So there's a chance we see some of it tonight. There's a chance we'll see some of it tomorrow. There's a chance we never see it at all, theoretically. But that is the hope is that we get some of it here tonight because that would be interesting to watch. All right. First prediction: commercial by 5:14. So this is a 90-minute episode. Then we'll have a podcast. Your son bought me my signed book. That's awesome. Thank you. They say thank you to him for me. The eviction is tonight. So it'll be live veto ceremony plus eviction. I am on YouTube. Get the Kellis reading book emote on Twitch. Well, let me see if I can do that real quick. Episode's about to start. Very soon. Here we are. A supersized live eviction night. All right, I called it reading. Audio working. Here's where we're at for Twitch, YouTube. This is what Patreon is seeing. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, 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 ba. Welcome, Haley. It's wild that he was so close to being the very first person evicted, and then was so close to being the second person evicted, and then was so close to being the third person evicted. Come on, tease the house meeting. Nah, they didn't. I feel like they have to give us a jury segment today. When else are we going to get another jury segment? Ava does not look happy. It's weird that he's here now. Wait, has he been in the jury house? Did they bring him back from the jury house? Because that actually is interesting. He seems to know. Seems like he's been talking to Rachel. For some reason. I will say I kind of like doing the interview after the fact. Wow, we're getting goodbye messages now. All right. What can Ashley do here? Michelle. That's all. That's it. That's all they gave her. Michelle, think of the 5. Wait, this is actually kind of interesting. Because he's been in the jury, no? Wow, we're going straight into this. If he's been in the jury, then he knows about the judges already, so that he didn't see his goodbye messages first, it seems. That definitely changes the impact that those might have. He obviously wasn't surprised when they said judges. Something else, and this could be nothing, but he was nodding along to Ashley saying, "My social game got me here." It genuinely could mean nothing. But sometimes we just have to, find tiny little crumbs. Also, the chances of Ashley getting to final 2 are still pretty low at this point. Wow, 50-50 on the prediction. Looking pretty good for no, unless it cuts right now. That's the easiest step to that first one because there's a ledge. Jordan Lane with the 64th. Yeah, Avo's not wrong. She still hasn't done the first movement, and Morgan is almost done. I really thought she was exaggerating. She was not exaggerating. She literally made her first move, and Morgan was done. And again, they're like, oh, hey guys, this was by design. She got here by design. Yeah, the design is bad. It's not entertaining to watch NBA players dunk on high schoolers. If it was a video game, it would be more fair. This literally used to be a staple of Big Brother. This competition used to be a staple of the show. It was before or after, before and after. It would be a quiz on if something happened before or after something else happened. This was a veto competition in like week 3 of BB16. And now it's a Final Four HOH. Wow, yeah, very late commercial. Wiley, thank you for $5. Do I ever get sad when a Big Brother season ends after I spent so much time with it, even when it's a bad season, or is it more relief? For me, with my current job, it's relief. Whether it's bad or it's good, it's relief. No commercial by 514. Nomination ceremony in the next segment. This being my job is what I meant. Like before covering the show was my job, there were definitely seasons when I was like, oh, I don't want it to end. But covering the show as my job, it's like, all right, I'm ready. Not in a sad way. Like, I also enjoy the seasons more now than I used to. I mean, in the way that I can as an adult. Like, it's hard to enjoy something in the same way that you did when you were a kid, but um I get so much more out of a season now than I ever used to, and it's because I get to watch it with you guys and talk about it with people and all kinds of stuff. Um, but yeah, this season, the thing too is that like when the season ends now, it's not really over yet for me because the deep dives are still coming, and those are a ton of work. Um, and so I'm still like, I have to keep this all in my brain. I have to be ready to do like a, you know, 3 to 6 hour interview with people, schedule it, all of that. And then um this season I've got the audiobook recording. I've got all kinds of other stuff coming up right away. So I'm definitely like still gonna be in the thick of it. But I think by December I'll have a little bit of a break. I think that's really when we've also got tons of Patreon stuff coming up. The Amazing Race patron stuff, the Traders Patreon stuff. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. I cannot complain, but I'm definitely excited for some downtime once I get it. We're back. What are you gonna do? I'm telling. Am I not a prophet? Was it not me just like 4 weeks ago on stream reading out to you the endgame comp results of the past few seasons? And now we're watching an episode where Vinny is doing this one. Vince, Morgan, Morgan, Vince, Vince, Morgan, 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 Vince, Morgan. How is the S&P 500 going to be tomorrow? Listen. If it's based on Big Brother, I got you. Why does he do this? Why? Why does he do this? Ashley ups her game. All right, no nomination ceremony, but let's run it back. Do we get it in the next segment? That was a big result. Big result for the no betters. Ooh, new movie from Luca. No, we're not watching previews. Sarah, thank you for the 16th. By the way, I'm going to have to run like right after the episode stops. We're going to start the podcast like pretty much as soon as we can, because we want to be able to make sure we're finished with the podcast by the time Rob starts the Amazing Race recap. So not a lot of post-episode discussion, but obviously you can just tune into the podcast for it instead. Just to warn you, I'll be out of here quick. Is there any chance Ava isn't getting evicted tonight? I would say it's not 0, but it's pretty close. Given that Ava planned to do a big thing and we didn't see it, and Morgan did express at least a willingness to think about evicting Vinny at 4, it is theoretically possible that Ava did a big thing, something changed, we haven't seen it yet, and Morgan makes a call and something happens. But the odds of it happening are really, really low. And this is coming from my expertise, yes, as an esthetician. Also, yeah, for what it's worth, Ava looked very upset at the start of the episode. That is a good point. Which certainly implies that what she tried did not work. I did have the thought, by the way, I'm watching this commercial where they're having shopping carts. If you watch the Survivor draft, we talked a lot about shopping carts. And I realized that, like, it's wild that we got 3 different shopping cart pet peeves, and not a single one of them was getting a shopping cart that has, like, a broken and or squeaky wheel. Like, that's so much worse than people not putting their shopping carts away or people leaving their shopping carts and blocking an aisle. It's so much worse. Especially when you pick one out and you think you're fine, and then all of a sudden you like turn it and it's like, oh no. You think someone stole a good card from you the other day because suddenly you let a squeaky one? I swear it happens. All right, we're back. We're back. And we're getting nominations. Man, the final four nominations when there was the key wheel were way more fun. Because you'd pull one name out and they'd be the only safe name. And they'd be like, thank you. And it actually was more meaningful as a meaningless ceremony. You know what I mean? Like the whole point is that like you're doing that person a favor even though it's meaningless. But it feels more like a favor because you pull their name out, you know? Vince couldn't keep a straight face if his life was on the line. I swear to you. I know this because I've seen him with his life on the line in conversations with Morgan, and he couldn't keep a straight face. Ugh. No, sorry, Ava, you're not on the block. You should be saying, I'm on Morgan's block. I like how they're just peanut butter and jelly now. We did get the nomination ceremony. Yes. Next prediction. Veto comp? Do we start the veto comp? I'm starting to think we're not getting a jury segment. They haven't mentioned anything about it. I almost did a jury segment prediction, but I feel like they would tell us if we had one coming. I guess we could get one tomorrow. It's just kind of strange to me that we would get one tomorrow instead of tonight, considering we have 90 minutes tonight. I guess they do have another competition to get through. I mean, we have a comp, a ceremony, a comp, a ceremony. So I guess fair enough, but... But, like, also, we don't need to... Like, that ceremony took up that entire section. That entire segment, pretty much. Like, it was... It started with the HOH, or with the nomination ceremony, and it ended right after it finished. We didn't need that much time spent on it, you know? Tomorrow is not unlocked. It's a recap of the recap. I call it recap of the recap. We do the recap of the recap. We call it the recap of the recap episode. I am getting tired. We're 40 minutes in. We're almost halfway. Have I considered the price to watch Housewives? I have not. Am I going to do a Patreon watch of Amazing Race for later? Yeah, that'll be the plan. I think I'll probably do a version of it similar to what I do for like the Genius and just post it. But it will likely be a temporary thing. It will have like an expiration date on it, basically. Patreon only for Amazing Race, yeah. Just for that one. For future ones, I'm not sure. All right, we're back. We're back. Veto competition. We'll sub to Patreon anyway because I don't want to hold you hostage, but know that I'm thinking about the Housewives the whole time. I feel like the costume department got very lazy this episode. Oh, this is what they meant by sliding puzzle. You keep saying button. You keep saying button. Your button. I don't like that strategy. I don't like that strategy at all. Vince's strategy, yeah. Ashley seems to be using a similar one of like, I get the mindset of like, I know this one is generally later. I know this one is generally earlier. But I think you're wasting time moving it to not the exact placement. I think that you should be placing them exactly where you want them to go instead of wasting time getting them generally where you want them to go, only to have to then rearrange them again to get them in the exact order. Another part of this too is that you shouldn't be placing them in the middle first. Yeah. Because you need space in the middle to move things. My strategy is put the first ones first and the last ones last. Would I be good at this comp? I think I'd be fine. I don't know if I'd be like particularly good. When I try to think about like, how do I feel about this comp in terms of equity? Equal equity. I think about if I were competing, how would I feel about it given a random set of competitors? And what I would say is if I were up against Serene Felicia, I guarantee you I win this comp. I don't care how well they know their days. I guarantee you I win this comp. If I'm up against Ava and Ashley, they've got a shot. Turns out, though, they didn't. Oh, did you hear that? He said, we'll be one step closer. Hold on. Vinny the Lip. He said, we'll be one step closer to sitting in those final two chairs together in the diary room. Not that, again, not that we need a lot of confirmation. Next prediction will be... We already got the 0% conversation. What else do we have? Right after she wins the veto, we get the Ashley conversation. And the argument. They're not going to show the argument. They could show the argument. No, they could show part of the argument. Just not the full. They're not going to show the full context of it. Moldy water is a good call, actually. Do they show the moldy water in the next segment? That's what we're going to go with because everything else is too vague. All right. I'll be right back. Oh. I would say that competition had more to do with puzzle strategy than anything else with those players. I still long for the days where Suri is capable of winning a Final Four veto. But with this one, I think Ashley was perfectly capable of winning that competition. If she had better puzzle strategy, I mean, here's the thing: if she had better puzzle strategy, it would have come down to who was faster between her and Morgan still would have won. But it wouldn't have been like a total blowout. How do I feel about the choice to have Cody hosting the roundtable? Is that who's hosting the roundtable? For Sharon? Ugh. I mean, what's is the reason? Hold on, we're back. We're back. The position is expected to rotate every year, they say. How did they That was a reference to how they pronounced it earlier, right? Siest Levy. I don't remember who did it. Ashley said it. Okay. You never touched my block. Oh, it's, he touched a lot of things, but not the block. Not her block. We're getting the moldy water. Big result. 27. 50 days. Well, it's in a different position there. I can't believe they showed all of the screaming. Wait, are they just gonna act like they get into an argument because he says the wrong thing and not that Ashley got in her head? They could still show the Ashley convo. Also, can we just briefly mention this too? The way that he's framing even this, like, oh, I just said the wrong thing. Whoops. Like, no. She's not mad at you because you said the wrong thing. She's mad at you because of how you feel. And you said something that revealed how you felt. I wasn't even listening to Julie. I don't know what she said. But prediction's gonna be more than one Ashley DR. Do we get more than one Ashley DR? And to be clear, the way I'm counting this, if it's all part of one statement, even if it cuts away, comes back, I'm not counting that as two. This is potentially subjective. I am the judge, jury, and executioner. But I'm looking for two distinctly separate diary rooms. They can be from the same session as long as they're not part of the same sentence or like statement. Same thing with the 16th. But yeah, I don't know why it's very much like I feel like this was very much like the kind of humor you'd see in like a sitcom from the 90s or 2000s where like the husband would be like, "Oh, that's me sticking my foot in my mouth." Or not, it wasn't even that far. It'd be like, "Oh, no, oh man. Said the wrong thing in front of the wife. Ooh, whoops." Now I'm in trouble. Gotta sleep on the couch. And it's like, you're telling on yourself. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, listen, not to say that there don't exist scenarios where like somebody will pick apart everything you say, right? Uh, and you do feel like you're walking on eggshells and it's a bad situation. Um, but that kind of situation is not really like oh, the wife, you know, that's like that's a bad situation. If you're being like, oh, the wife, always mad at me for saying the wrong thing, just wanted to hang out with the boys and said that, you know, she should be quiet about when they come over. Oh, I shouldn't have said be quiet. Oh, that's a trigger word. Oh, sorry. Hold on, we're back. Here it is. This is one. There it is. I would say that's exactly as described. It wasn't a bad joke. It wasn't a joke. All right. That was one Ashley DR. That's a no. We got the one DR about her wanting to get Morgan to take her. No additional DR. That's a pretty tough one because nobody really got more than one. Next prediction. Who is evicted? Ashley or Ava? Oh, wait. Sorry. Or Vince. Hold on. You're right. Who is evicted? Ashley or Ava or Vince? I told you it was very low. Imagine if she did the house meeting, it worked, and we were all reading the opening shot wrong. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think it's 0, but I also don't think it's 4%. The 750K bad joke was him saying, if you weren't here, I would have dominated the competitions. And then when like pressed about it and asked about Lauren, like, oh, maybe you should have taken me out then with Lauren. He's like, well, Lauren would have been just as good. And now you might hear that as I'm saying those words, they don't sound very funny. They don't sound like jokes because they're not. It's literally just a way of saying a thing you feel and then say, oh, just a joke. It's just a joke. Just a joke. So unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. Well, she's not helping Ashley there. Granted, Ashley was never counting Ava as a Vinny vote, so that actually is not that bad. Ashley, stop speaking so well. You're going to scare Morgan. Ashley rubbing it in. I think we're still live. Okay, we don't need to listen to this. Okay. Morgan has been talking about this. That she suspects that Ava was the accomplice because of something that she can't talk about from production. And now on the live show, she explained what it was. That's so wild. Here's the thing though, if she did have this house meeting, I bet you the context of this is Ava called this house meeting, called out Vinny, and in response, Morgan told Vinny, I think she's just doing one last accomplice thing. I think she's the accomplice. And then as she's leaving, she like explains more of the this is my theory. This is my theory about why it came up in that moment. I know she said alternate, but on the feeds she talked about why she thought Ava was the accomplice. And it was because of this stuff. I know she said alternate on the live show. But basically, the theory would be that Ava was an alternate and then made into the accomplice because of that. Can they hear the audience from inside the house? Yeah. I mean, they just talked about it. Not always super well, but as Ashley said, they could hear the laughing. I think overall that went pretty well for Vince's chances of being taken. Between the audience laughing at "Don't contact me," Ava's obvious anti-Vince stance in general, it should become a little more clear to Morgan that Vince is, in fact, a very likely easy beat. And if I'm reading this correctly, yeah, Cindy, I think it likely means she doesn't really believe whatever Ava said about Vince. If she's talking about why she thinks that Ava is like the accomplice. All right, we're back. Here we go. They fit it into the episode by cutting into the interview. That's so funny. She practiced that line. Ashley pretending to be surprised. What in the leading question was that? Vince's goodbye messages are all about the judges. Like, he's completely bought into Morgan's line about how the judges will, like, justify everything he's done. Jury segment. Oh, jury segment plus roundtable immediately. Wait, no. We wouldn't get the roundtable tomorrow. Right? Some of the shots looked like they were from the roundtable, and I was like confused. There we go. That was such a funny shot of Cody being scared by the confetti. Taylor, Tucker, Angela, and more. Ava was evicted. Literally named 2 people from last season and not the winner. Oh my god, Vince. I can't handle it. All right. Final prediction. Who wins part 1? Ashley, Morgan, Vince. Wow, they had so much extra time left. This is actually so fun. Casuals are getting to watch live feeds right now. If Taylor's there. Whoops. Okay. The Amazing Race coming up next, but that is not for me tonight. If you are a patron, stay tuned. I will try to have something up tomorrow for the premiere of The Amazing Race. In the meantime, I have to run to go to the podcast. If you want more thoughts on the episode, come and join us on the podcast. Stay tuned for the rest of it. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. I will see all of you tomorrow or on the podcast or whenever you join me.